This video is made possible by our generous supporters on Patreon. Check out patreon.com/NWR for all the details.
Alright everyone, welcome. I am going to be unboxing the Virtual Boy for Nintendo Switch Online. This is the full headset, so we're going to see what's inside. This thing has not released in Europe, ever, like Virtual Boy. So I'm very excited to see what it's up to. As of writing, the app itself is not yet available, so we're going to see how it works. And yeah, so it is a very chunky, heavy box actually. Some packaging, and here it is, the big boy, the headset itself. So you can see the red filters, which you can add and change around. The foam is actually, that's pretty comfortable. It's a lot more foamy than the original design. Here's the shell for the outside of it. It is pretty big, like a hefty device, even for me as wanting to play it, but also as a display piece. I'm very happy with how it looks. So let's remove this. So here's the brackets underneath. And underneath you can see that it has it has references to where the controller and exit ports are, as well as a volume wheel that doesn't work and a headphone wheel that doesn't work. So that's a cute attention to detail. And then there's this bracket. So one is for Nintendo Switch 2, and the other one is for Nintendo Switch. I think there might be one in the box as well. So yeah. There's the head display on top, as well as these. They cannot be moved. It's stuck. But still, that's pretty cool looking. On the side, there's this rubber Nintendo thing. So rubber Nintendo. And again, it's yeah. There's this lens filter here, which can be removed, I've been told. So yeah, let's see what else is in the box here, because there's still a lot to unpack, quite literally. So, got some more cardboard, putting it up. Got the health and safety warning, which is actually a fairly large instruction piece on how to use this. So it goes into detail about the brackets, as well as how to assemble the stand and how to use it. Again, I'm kind of upset it doesn't come with a controller, but can't have everything. And so here is the stand itself. So what's interesting about the stand, it's actually fully made of metal, like it's not a plastic thing. Whoa, that is pretty chunky actually. Like, that is stable. Has a very good pivot. Screw mounted bracket. I don't know if the original was made from metal as well, but like this is heavy. So that looks really good. And finally, let's see what else is in there. Inside is the other brackets, and I think this one is for Nintendo Switch. Yeah. So if you want to use your original Switch, you can use that too. But if you want to use the Switch 1 or your Switch OLED, then you will have to adjust it and add this little bracket. So that's the full Virtual Boy. Let's see if we can assemble this thing. Honestly, these instructions are really like all over the place, like not as straightforward as you think. So what needs to be done is you need to flip open the case, which is done. Yeah, there's a bracket here, so ooh, that's a loud click. And so that opens up the innards of the system. What does it look like from the side? And so Switch 2 bracket is already in there. So let's see what happens if I add my Nintendo Switch 1. You will need to remove the Joy-Con, and I will, just to make sure, I will remove my cover plate, the Genki Attack Vector. So here's a Nintendo Switch 2. Just to make sure, Nintendo Switch 2. And so what needs to be done is you just insert it. And then it goes into here. So So you just slide it in. That's pretty snug, all things considered. Then you can close it down. Now there's a Nintendo Switch in there. I feel. So let's see if it attaches to the bracket. Let's grab the stand. Put it in like this. Oh my. And then you can move it back and forth. You can't actually move it left or right. There we kind of go. So again, this is a chunky thing. You can actually see the Switch 2 sticking out as well. Look, I'm trying to get this into full frame, but it's quite difficult. So here, this is what it looks like standing upright. It does look a little bit sagged. Don't know if that can be changed actually. It is kind of lopsided actually. That's weird. So, just to show you, put in the clip, retention bracket, and you click it in there. And again, it's still kind of lopsided. You can't adjust the thing with the screw. So there it is. You can lift it up and down. There's a decent-ish end to this. But I will say that, oh, maybe this actually needs to be wider. Yeah, that looks a little bit more stable. I had it up too high, I think. This is sort of better. It is a lot of plastic, to be honest. But yeah, propped up like this, it's a lot more straight. Not as straight as I'd like, but yeah. That is Virtual Boy. So, no games yet, so we can't actually try it. I will put it on actually. I'm curious about that lens filter that can be removed. If you push it over here. Ah, there it is, look. So you can remove the lens filter, and that's kind of where it is, the Labo. But yeah, if you want to see the world through Virtual Boy, it's just a red filter. There's not much to it. This is your life now, as Virtual Boy. But yeah, it's just a VR Labo set. Kinda changed up. But it looks really cool. It has a more premium, hefty feel to it than I was expecting. So you can push it back in. Click, click. Now you have Virtual Boy. So the only proper way to end this is, of course, by showing what it looks like when you are in front of it, I suppose. This is Virtual Boy in action. Yeah, you can't actually reach the Switch itself, which is kind of wild. You can click it open easily and then turn it on. And when you turn it on, it actually, that filter's pretty interesting. You can immediately see the lines and dots that make the Virtual Boy screen weird. But it's pretty much unusual in this state. So that's kind of wild. But yeah, swapping it out for the Switch itself is pretty easy. I do see these like hairs on the side when you pull it out, so be careful, because that might scratch the thing. There is a bit of rubber on there, so it does feel safe, but if you don't have a screen protector, consider getting one. But yeah, that is Virtual Boy. I waited 31 years to have something like this at home for not an exorbitant price, so yeah, my Virtual Boy's dreams can come true. So yeah, it's waiting until the app launches February 17th, if I recall correctly. So keep an eye out for Nintendo World Report for more on the Virtual Boy Nintendo Switch Online. Thank you very much.
This video was made possible by our generous supporters on Patreon. Did you know that Nintendo World Report is funded directly by fans like you? When you support Nintendo World Report on Patreon, you get immediate access to multiple exclusive podcasts every month, exclusive Discord channels, an early look at select content, and more, all for as little as $1 a month. Check out patreon.com/NWR for all the details.